Okay, so I never had to talk. You know what that means? The bees, the birds, the flies, the honeys, all the things, the pollen. And I talked about this a few times already, where my family doesn't really do emotional or like any like hard topics to talk about ever, like ever, like right, like mentions of like just depressions, mental illnesses in general, and never happened, right? Any like gender stuff never happened in my family. There's just something that was never discussed at home. So similar, I also never had a dog. Okay? I never did. I think the most I gotten was like when I asked like where children came from when I was like a little bit older, maybe like 6 or something, was like when a man and a woman love each other very dearly, they get a child or whatever, right? That was like the most I got. Okay? So I had to learn through school and the internet. And my God, you should not learn through the internet, okay? You should not learn. You have to learn this thing through the internet. So obviously, in school, they teach you some stuff, right? They teach you the basics. They teach you like all the things, what parts you need, what needs to happen, and then what occurs, how long it takes, usually, what a baby is, what a baby does, and all stuff like that, right? And of course, then like later when I already knew all that stuff and had to do the schooling to become a kindergarten teacher, there was like more stuff for like newborn kids, like how to care for them and stuff like that. But that's like besides the point. So there's stuff you learn at school, the basics, but there isn't like much other things that are being taught to you, right? For example, there isn't really like how to do it, when to do it, why to do it. Are you like allowed to say no? Are you allowed to say yes? Should you want to even? Do you have to? Is there only the pairing between man and woman, or is there anything else? None of that was like in school, obviously, okay? Because my God, they should teach that, but they don't because we are in Germany. We are in Germany, so they don't teach that. No. Anyway, I don't know if they teach it in like other things. So there's one channel. By the way, I'm just saying this once in case you want to inform yourself. There's a channel here on YouTube that is called Sexplanations, and just as the name just as the name implies, a lot of things you can learn from that channel in like a very nice way. The lady is very nice how she explains those things, right? And she's like very open to everything. And the channel by now is like many, many years old, probably over 10 years old. And I found the channel pretty early on, like after it was created. And for a while, I was watching a lot of those videos, okay? And they were helpful and nice, and of course I learned things and I saw things, and the internet exists and websites exist and the henty exists, the hens in the Thai, they exist and they happen, and they don't really teach you things. No. No. They don't, but they exist. So yeah, and that was like very weird. So I didn't really know how to deal with all of that stuff really. And like obviously at some point I knew what the talk was all about, what the thing was all about, what this thing, which apparently is so important to humans and humankind, is about. And I was like, I don't really care. I don't know. Like I rather play games. You wanna play Smash Bros? Like the game? I wanna play Toon Link and like fight you? You wanna do that? Okay? And since this is kind of fitting for this video, and I don't think I will ever in my freaking life talk about this thing ever again, right? And I kind of have to get this off my shoulders. You know how when you're in your like teenage years and you have your own laptop, and sometimes you might decide to download specific types of videos just for a few times where there might not be any internet, right? So you have like a few like emergency videos that you download on your PC and you hide them in like a folder that nobody ever finds, okay? Hopefully, okay? Of course I did that. I was a teenager once, okay? I did that. I had that. And then I remember one time a female friend came over, and we must have been like 16, 17 at the time. I'm not entirely sure. And I don't know what the hell came over this woman, this girl, okay? This girly pop. She was like, yo, Shy, do you have, do you have any, chickens on your PC? Any, like, hens and ties on your PC? And, my God, I should have said no. I should have said no. I don't know what came over me in that situation. And I said yes. I opened the file. Okay, I opened the file. And then we proceeded for like 15 minutes to very nonchalantly sit next to each other. Nothing happened. No one touched no one. Nothing happened. And we literally, just as we would watch an episode of anime, watched this episode of this very special show. And I don't remember what happened after. I just know, like, nothing happened. Like, nothing spicy happened. I think we just stopped and did something else. And I still don't know, to this day, why that happened. Maybe that was, like, maybe I was super dense and that person wanted to, like, you know. But I didn't know. I just had to get this over with, because I will never in my entire life get to tell anybody this story ever again, because it's just so freaking weird, okay? So do tell me, because I have to go now. This was too embarrassing. I have to go. I have to stop this video. Tell me now if you had to talk, how you found out, and if you had any similar situations to this. Okay? I'm going now. Bye.